Portugal may have never won the World Cup, but it's incredible the amount of talented Portuguese players when the total population of the country is only 10 million people. Despite having produced great players throughout the years, it was only since the year 2000 that Portugal started to qualify to every tournament. They've been improving constantly, and they're now amidst a golden generation of players including Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes and João Cancelo, just to name a few. It's going to be challenging to choose from so many great talents and not let the recency of this golden generation distract me from all the good players in the past. But I'm taking on that challenge and I'm bringing you Portugal'S FC greatest Portugal 11 of all time. Goalkeeper Vitor Baía. One of the most decorated goalkeepers of all time, his career was intimately connected with FC Porto, which he started representing professionally still in his teens, eventually winning 25 trophies with them, including 10 league titles, 1 Champions League, 1 UEFA Cup and 1 International Cup in 2 different stints at the club. He also had a spell with Barcelona where he won silverware, but he never truly managed to give his all because of injuries. He played 80 times for Portugal from 1990 until 2002 when he was dropped in his prime by Luís Figo. Right back, João Pinto, probably the least known player in this list. João Pinto wasn't the most technically gifted player, but his strength, speed and hard work allowed him to be a mainstay in his position for over a decade at both club and international level. He is currently the player with the most matches played for Porto, a total of 587 matches, where he won a Champions League, a European Super Cup, 1 International Cup and also 9 league titles. He also played 70 times for Portugal, participating in the 1984 European Championship and the 1986 World Cup. Maybe Cancelo will surpass him in a few years, but for now, I just don't think he had the impact this man had at either club or international level. Centre back, Pepe. Pepe is one of the best centre-backs of the last decade. A quick, aggressive, physically strong and tenacious defender, Pepe is known for his work rate and hard-tackling style of play, which earned him a lot of cards throughout his career. Pepe is also an example of longevity, as he's turning 40 this year, but is still playing at the highest level. A club legend at both Porto and Real Madrid, he has won 7 league titles, 4 Champions League trophies and 3 Club World Cups. Despite being born in Brazil, he chose to play for Portugal in 2007, and 15 years later, the man has won 1 European Championship, 1 Nations League, and a total of 133 caps for his adopted country. Centre-back, Ricardo Carvalho. The perfect partner for Pep, Carvalho is not the strongest centre-back at all, but he compensates that with his ability to read the game and time his challenges. He was quick and good in the air, but also possessed superb technique and good passing ability. Carvalho began his career at Porto, where he won domestic and European trophies under José Mourinho's management. In July 2004, Carvalho transferred to the Blues, where he enjoyed his prime as a football player, winning 2 Premier League titles in a row and 1 League Cup in his first 2 seasons. He also played for Real Madrid, Monaco and Shanghai SIPG. At international level, he won the Euro Championship in 2016 and was also a part of the 2004 Portuguese squad that reached the final of the Euros. He has a total of 89 caps, which isn't much compared to what he could have played had he not clashed with head coach Paulo Bento and retired from the national team from 2011 until late 2014. Left back, Hilário. Hilário was fast and a great passer of the ball, who always gave his all in every play. He spent all of his club career with Sporting Club Portugal and was always the main left back in the team. He won 7 trophies with Sporting, including a Cup Winners' Cup in 1964, the only international trophy the club had ever won. Hilário was also a part of Magriços, the first Portuguese golden generation, who went on to win a bronze medal in the 1966 World Cup, Portugal's best participation in the World Cup so far. He played 40 matches for the Portuguese national team, which is quite impressive considering that at the time there wasn't as many international team matches as today. Despite not being so internationally known as other players in this list, he is a key figure in Portugal in general and in Sporting in particular. Defensive midfielder, Mário Coluna. Coluna is one of the most underrated Portuguese players of all time, who was known for his leadership qualities and respectful conduct, as well as his vision and reading of the game from midfield, passing range and ferocious long shots. Dubbed the Sacred Monster, he won 19 trophies with Benfica, including 10 league titles and 2 European Cups. He played a total of 57 times for Portugal, where he was a fundamental piece of Otto Gloria's 1966 Portuguese squad for the World Cup. If it wasn't for Eusébio, he would definitely be the best player of his generation. Central midfielder, Deco. Deco was an intelligent midfielder who could read the game very well and create chances for his teammates. He wasn't the fastest or the most physical player, but he compensated that with his flair, passing and crossing abilities. Deco became famous as a star player in that Porto team that won consecutive European titles from 2003 until 2004. After winning the Champions League with Porto, he moved to Barca where he won another Champions League. He came close to winning that trophy again with Chelsea, but the best he could do was reaching the final. Despite being born in Brazil, he chose to play for Portugal after living in the country for 5 years. He was an important piece in Scolari's team and participated in 2 Euro Championships and 2 World Cups, playing a total of 75 matches from 2003 until 2010. Attacking midfielder, Rui Costa. A very technical player, also known for his playmaking ability and eye for goals, Rui Costa epitomized the beautiful football of the 90s. He spent most of his career with Benfica, Fiorentina and Milan, winning 2 league titles, 1 Champions League and a UEFA Super Cup, just to name a few. He played 94 times for Portugal, scoring 26 goals, and was also a part of a golden generation that won the 120 World Cup in 1991, but the best that could do at senior level was reaching the Euro 2004 final at home soil. He retired at Benfica and is now their current president. Right winger, Luís Figo. Figo is one of the greatest players of all time. When his prime, was renowned for his quickness and dribbling ability, beating almost everyone in front of him. As he aged, he evolved into a more creative player who was deployed more often as a playmaker. If you had doubts how much impact Figo had during his prime, I'll just tell you that he has the second biggest number of assists in La Liga history, only behind Lionel Messi. He started out in Sporting, showed how classy he was at Barcelona, then left for Real Madrid in one of the most controversial but successful transfers of all time, where he won Champions League and a Ballon d'Or. He retired from football with Inter, where he still won 4 league titles. Figo was the leader of a golden generation that revived Portugal's national team, and despite not having titles to show, Figo managed to captain the team to their best World Cup performance since the Eusébio era in 1966, as well as helping Portugal to their best ever result in the UEFA European Championship until they won it in 2016. He finished his international career with 127 caps and 32 goals. Left winger, Cristiano Ronaldo. What can I say about this man? He's the best Portuguese player ever and one of the best footballers of all time, while Portugal became consistently one of the best teams in the world. Before a severe injury in 2014, Cristiano played predominantly as a winger with supreme dribbling ability and pace. After that injury, he evolved into another role, this time a prolific goal scorer, capable of finishing well both inside the penalty area and from distance with an accurate and powerful shot, courtesy of his striking ability. Cristiano Ronaldo played for Sporting, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Juventus, and currently applies his trade at Al Nassr, where at almost 38 years old, he's still the highest paid footballer in the world. So far, he has played in 196 matches for Portugal, scoring a record number of 118 goals. Cristiano broke, and will still break, many records in his career. That impact that he had on football, the way he made it even more famous around the world, is iconic, and his legacy will live on forever. Centre forward, Eusébio. The Black Panther, or simply the King, was one of the best strikers of all time. Known for his speed, technique, athleticism and his ferocious right-footed shot, Eusébio scored 733 goals in 745 matches. That basically means that when you start Eusébio, you're almost guaranteeing goals. He spent the most successful period of his career with Benfica, where he helped the Águias win 11 league titles, 5 Portuguese Cups and 1 European Cup, just to name a few. He played a total of 64 matches for Portugal, scoring 41 goals. He almost carried Portugal to a historical World Cup win in 1966, scoring 9 goals, but fell in the semi-finals against England, the eventual winners. He was truly a remarkable player whose legacy doesn't get talked about enough. And that is it for the video. Here's my full 11 and also the bench. Make sure to leave in the comments your favorite 11 as I read through all of your submissions. Thank you for reaching the end of the video. If you appreciate content like this, maybe you like this video. I'll see you on the next one.